We're now recording on Ustream, recording on the podcast, and we are good to go-ish.
G2G.
Are you seriously good to go?
Yep.
All right. And everybody else is squared away?
Squared.
All right.
Clear for tape. You know what? I am going to grab my headphones.
Okay, so no, we're not ready.
It's not squared away. Not.
False
Just
start.
kidding. JK, LOL.
65 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Michelle, are those air traffic controller headphones?
No, they're from Radio Shack. They came with lime green, white, or orange little covers.
They
Customizable.
look like vintage
Nice.
or something.
I want to get some of those like super huge ones to hold my ears down. I need something to rein them in.
All right, ready?
All right.
Are you sure now?
I think he's ready.
Actually, I'm going to take a leak, if that's okay with everyone. No?
Can you go to the restroom to do it?
All right, this time for you, because a lady is present.
Is full. The cleaning lady has been here.
He forgot to bring his catheter.
Yeah. Cath chat with Shelly Naranjo. All right.
I actually accidentally wrote Kath in somewhere the other day, and I was like, oops.
Snuck right in there.
All right, folks. Here we go.
Michelle, you don't look like you're ready.
I am, sorry.
Okay.
I'm totally right.
All
I
right.
was looking for something.
All right. Once the noise stops, get going here.
I'll mute
Okay.
them.
Coming up on Roundabout, learn about one community where pickup trucks are strictly verboten. Are states considering advertising on license plates? How dare they? And a very special Pontiac that you have to see to believe is going up for auction. Stick around for all these exciting stories and many more, only on Roundabout. Roundabout is sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. Visit our website, roundaboutshow.com, to get up to $30 off your next purchase. And by Tire Rack. Follow the link on our website to save up to $80.
So, Michelle,
Yeah.
are you going to read your thing, or?
Yeah, sorry. I just realized I was looking at it. What does that say? In Long Beach, California, from Auto by Tel, I'm Michelle Naranjo.
Do it again, because I was laughing over you.
Oh. In Long Beach, California, from Auto by Tel, I'm Michelle Naranjo.
From Knoxville, Tennessee, I'm Zach Bowman for the Autoblog.
In the Roundabout Tower of Power, I'm Eric Tritko from RumbleStrip.net.
I'm your host, Craig Cole.
And I'm producer Ben Sanders.
This is Roundabout.
Hello and welcome to Roundabout, episode number 87, our weekly chat covering car culture, vehicle reviews, and some of the auto news you may have missed.
Is it really week 87?
It's actually week about 100, and we've missed a few in there.
Quiet, you.
It's the unaired episodes that we're missing.
So, like, the 6 months of practice we did before going live, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we are back. Another Friday night, another Roundabout. They're pretty synonymous by now. At least they should be.
Unfortunately.
Friday, fun, drinking with your friends, and Roundabout.
Yep.
I mean,
You forgot firearms.
if you want firearms too, great. We've got the Second Amendment here. We're going to use it.
Damn
It's
straight.
written on the Bill of Rights. So, and no quartering troops or whatever, right? The other one that matters. So we got another great show lined up for you guys today. The theme this week
Is?
Is?
As in, no, you can't, no, don't do that, or no way, go find your own tots. So we got a lineup of no-themed stories that we think you're really going to love. And helping us dig through this pile of negativity, we've got our very special guest back again, the one, the only, Zach Bowman. And perhaps you've heard of him. Thankfully, he's once again survived his annual canoeing trip across the scenic James River, whose lazy bends and casually flowing waters slosh their way across 348 miles of scenic Virginia countryside.
I see you've been hitting Wikipedia.
I have
good.
been.
Glad Thanks, Ben.
What the insert
Aw.
what the insert drop here is benewing.
I'll let
You
Zach
don't know what benewing is? So you take a canoe and you take beer and you put them together.
So wouldn't it be?
benewing?
Yeah. See,
But-
we used to do that, except we did it on inner tubes.
No, canoes are a lot better because then you have like a sense of genuine peril.
A risk of flippage.
Yeah, you've never ridden an inner tube through the rapids while having beer next to you.
Any near-death experiences this time, Zach?
No, I didn't almost drown this time, which was a nice touch. We did chief a lot of Coors, and I probably won't drink Coors again until
Next year.
next year this time.
Silver bullet got you.
My buddy made the mistake, like we picked up a couple of, I guess there were 24s, right? And like I had two 24s, and there are only a handful of us out there, and he's like, 2 24s? We're gonna need more than that. We get it out there, and we
Boy.
realize they're like the tall cans. They're not like the little stubby 12 ounces, they're the 16 ounces. So, you know, it was bad. We came back with I think like 7 beers. that
And
we didn't-
dysentery.
and dysentery. yes.
Dehydration from.
It was pretty
Yeah.
intense.
And
And then we got on the motorcycles and rode 300 and some odd miles back the next morning.
Oh my God! How was the weather? I bet it was scorching hot.
No, it was
No?
fantastic actually. Very nice.
Oh, very nice. I guess the People's Republic of Virginia serves up some nice weather every now and again.
Yeah.
So, well, very good. We're glad you made it, Zach. Back from the Autoblog.
Yeah.
All right. So, shall we get started?
Yes.
It's,
Yes. Michelle, you've got our first story.
I
A community
do.
in Florida is being pretty discriminatory here, and I don't like it.
Well, it is pretty amazing considering it is Florida. But there are snobs in
Yeah.
Florida too.
It's like the roundabout honorary state.
It is.
The dangle.
It is. The dangle state. Yes, Craig. You can say it.
it.
So, Coral Gables, Florida, does not want people parking their pickup trucks in the driveways at night because they think that it doesn't preserve the character of the historical area, which is kind of funny because my stepdad, when he moved to Texas from California, when he married my mother, did not want to buy a house in an area where anybody parked a pickup truck in the driveway because he felt that devalued that house.
Oh
And,
my God!
you know,
Somebody that works for a living. Holy crap!
Right,
want
but
them
then,
in the neighborhood.
in their neighborhood, they ended up buying their house in. Of course, everybody has really expensive pickups, including that one. The next door neighbor has one of those funny Chevy things with that's a
SFR?
convertible, or yes,
Avalanche.
Yeah, somebody probably has one of those too. But
Oh, yes, I saw it.
yeah, the SSR.
SARS.
So yeah, I mean, I can understand like the city of Venice and Santa Monica is trying to keep people from parking motorhomes on the streets because that's actually homeless people, or not homeless people. It's homed people with wheels living in front of their very expensive homes. But the idea that pickups, somehow distract from a neighborhood is kind of silly.
Yeah, this week just happens to dovetail very nicely. I've got the GMC 2500 Denali, and it's got a price tag of almost $70,000.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Who the hell buys that, and why?
Well, that aside, but if you had lost your mind for a brief stint and found yourself with this in the driveway, would you not just be irate if someone just told you that you couldn't park that
Okay,
there
well, what about
I
parking
might
it
have
in
to
the-
engage the 4-wheel drive and
and
park
just drive it through their house?
Well, I was going to say,
Like,
and park it on top of their Mercedes or BMW.
Here, well, okay, they say parked in
No,
the
they
driveway.
Lexuses
What about on the
pay you.
lawn or in
Yeah,
the
the
backyard?
Lexus, yeah.
The article says driveway. What about the front lawn or the backyard? You could just
No,
move it
that's
off.
a good point. That's a good point.
But this sounds like so. This is like the homeowners association that's being a butthole about everything.
It says it's the city, isn't it?
It's a city, yeah.
It's a city
City
ordinance.
which
And they
is
said it actually has been in existence for like 50 years. They just never enforced it.
Pretty stupid law, if you ask me. But
Well, isn't half of Coral Gables a gated community anyway, so you're not going to see anything?
Probably.
well, that makes me sad, Michelle. And I don't even
It
own a pickup truck.
Makes me rat sad.
I mean, you should be rootin' tootin' angry. You should be getting your 6-shooters out.
pew pew.
One more reason.
That's
That is
more than a
not a-
6-shooter.
It's like a Browning or something.
I am FPS Russian. Have you seen those videos?
Oh, so good, so good.
Oh. you go. In another no-themed story, is as in no, please don't. Zach, we've got some states.
That kind of.
Yes, some states are trying to supplement their revenues with a certain license plate gimmick. What's going on?
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Next story then.
Hey!
Moving on. Illinois is considering allowing corporate sponsors to I guess brand license plates, which seems like a horrible idea. It's not the first time that this has happened. Apparently, Texas got into this in 2009, and I guess Ford and Remax and Mighty Fine Burgers have done this. And the astonishing thing about this is despite all of those large companies getting into this game, it's only generated $51,805 for Texas. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It seems a little weird. I feel like if you're going to be able to buy advertising on however many license plates, you ought to have to pay a fairly sizable chunk of money.
Well,
right?
is that even going to cover the administrative costs of this program? Knowing how wasteful
exactly.
governments are.
So it's bizarre. I don't know.
Well, meanwhile, someone apparently has figured out that the little Google landing page when they had the guitar and you could record the song, that landing page actually ended up costing the American workforce something like $25 million in work.
I lost like half a day on that sucker. I was just like rocking out. I was like, yes, this is fantastic.
See, if you step up to Bing, you don't get these superfluous distractions.
That's why you're more productive, right, Craig?
Wasn't
Exactly.
You just get black screen and green text. That's all you get from Bing.
Was it Illinois or was it California that wanted to put like moving LEDs on license plates for advertisement?
Oh.
Did we cover that up?
About this. Supposedly, there's a private company that sets up the plates for Texas, and they have I don't know how many various designs. I thought license plates were supposed to be recognizable per state. Wasn't that like part of the whole plan?
Well, not when they can make money.
If you were
Although
out,
not much.
gallivanting across the country, they'd know where you were from. I don't know.
Rather than trim wasteful spending, they want to,
Well, that would be most of the spending then, Eric. They're not going to do that.
Well, thank you.
But,
You're coming around to my way of thinking.
So if this were an option in your fine state, respectively, what would you guys have on the plate, if anything?
Shinerbach.
Shinerbach?
Oh, yes. No, that's a bad idea. Drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm promoting it.
Roundabout does not condone drinking and driving. Please drink responsibly.
Unless you're karting, and then it's kind of okay.
Well, if it's
Who would cart while drinking?
well, if it's
So
Texas,
weird.
well, if
Where
it's
could you do
Texas,
that?
and when you have to have Dr. Pepper,
What's that?
wouldn't Dr. Pepper have to be a primary one on anything from Texas?
Huh?
They're based out of Dallas.
I thought they were based out of Atlanta or something.
No, that's
Oh, it's
Coca-Cola.
Coke. Sure. Yeah.
Michelle, you've got to have a corporate sweetheart you'd want to plug on your plate.
Well, Diet Coke.
Diet
Duh.
Coke. Okay.
I can think of one other, Michelle.
Glock. Glock would be pretty sweet.
Glock.
Mommy loves hammers.
No!
I clearly missed some important milestones in Roundabout while I was gone.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, I can just see the various gentlemen's entertainment clubs sponsoring plates in Michigan, especially for the Detroit area.
Brought to you by the Diamond.
BTs, Tycoons, and Trumps, the big three.
You know, speaking of strip clubs, we actually had a guy that manages one of the strip clubs here in the port that was shot on his way home from work the other day. He's the boyfriend of the woman that owns several strip clubs in the area. And it kind of he was shot on the freeway and killed. And he called 911 before he died. And, very kind of sad story. They don't know who the guy was. But the thing that shocked me the most was he was in a Prius. And I don't know why
He's an environmentally conscious pimp.
Maybe that's why he got shot, actually. Mystery solved. Mystery solved.
Oh, keeping the no theme alive, Eric. Our next story.
No theme.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No theme.
Yeah, I just want to know what newly signed rap artist felt the need to
Do this.
Yes, destroy a perfectly fine 360,000.
Was it Elton John?
Yeah, 300. What does a Rolls-Royce
lot.
Phantom go for? 350 grand or so.
A lot more than I drove one that was 440.
It had a 440 in it.
No, it was
Was it
440
Chrysler?
grand.
Oh,
It had a V12 with a power reserve meter.
yes. Well, this one is
Oh my!
the outside is white, yellow, purple, and gold with rather unattractive
It's like
rims.
The theme song for After Hours band, where they're singing about the colors.
Where's the rainbow rims and some of that Mylar stuff on it?
And then the interior has this purple look, fake carbon fiber purple trim, and I mean, just like, yeah, this is.
I want to see the hat that goes with this car. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, this.
gotta be impressive.
Oh Christ!
Is that like purple carbon fiber?
It's like printed on plastic. It looks like, I don't know, because look at the still of the YouTube image at the bottom right corner. It looks wavy.
It's crinkled.
I don't know
yeah.
if that's lens distortion, but it's not even.
Yeah, this is definitely something like Iceberg Slim or something would be rolling in. I mean, it's just.
Somebody applied that with their debit card.
It's a fine vinyl application tool, I'll have you know.
I use
not
old
let-
ones to scrape my surfboard.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
Words are inadequate to describe.
This is almost, though not quite as hideous as the Chevrolet Impala that Marion Barber had. Well, you weren't here last. I'll have to find the link for it for you, Zach. But it's on eBay. If you go on eBay and you look for search for Marion Barber's Impala, it's this thing's almost as hideous as that.
It comes with puppies, though. Michelle, you'd like it.
Absolutely. I do have to add one thing, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This car is in the same color wave as my house. The exterior of my house is actually the exact
Victorian?
same colors. Yeah.
The exterior isn't too horrible. I would venture to say, what were those? The Mansory rollers
Is
that we were
this
talking about?
is this the paint scheme you're going to go for with the Ford,
No.
Craig?
No,
you
it's
sure?
going to be flat black. I'm just saying, I think the Mansories on the outside might look worse with the awful gold trim.
This has gold trim,
It
Yeah,
does.
I don't know.
and it's
Yeah.
awful.
OFFAL.
Awful.
Awful, yes.
Scrumptious innards.
Yes, that's
Like a big sweet bread.
You like the pancreas and thyroid, Michelle? Oh, dear. So, in less awful news, got a beautiful car that's up for sale. It's very unique, and I'm very upset, and I wish I could actually own this one, because it is a clear-bodied, a plastic-bodied Pontiac from 1939 that is going up for auction. GM built it for the 1939 World's Fair in New York, and this is literally a full-size car. It actually runs. And it has all plastic, clear, transparent bodywork, which is awesome. Come on. Who wouldn't like to have this in their garage? Not that you could really drive it ever, but
It says it's drivable. I would love to see, you know that show that they have that goes around all the museums, and I think it's kind of permanent in Vegas now, where they have like the sort of like sliced up people in action.
oh boy.
Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be great to see like the person without their skin behind the wheel of this?
Well, because I
Oh,
think
yeah,
they
I know
actually
what- I know what you're
Great,
talking about. Yeah, that's
terrifying. One of the two. I don't know.
Well, because they do have like one of those with a horse,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a skinless horse and a skinless
It was in
person
the,
riding it.
Yeah.
They showed part of that in the James Bond, the first Daniel Craig James Bond movie.
Snap.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's right.
It was, it's cool stuff.
So it's a 1939 Pontiac Deluxe 6. Flathead 6 under the hood. And like I said, it's going up at the RM auction block, and it could fetch as much as $475,000.
Doesn't that seem low?
Say again?
Doesn't that seem low to you?
No.
It seems about right. I mean, given how rare it is.
I think that's actually too low. I mean, all the people that collect World's Fair stuff.
It's probably got a salvage title. That's why.
Well,
Kidding.
it
Joking.
runs. It's got 86 miles on the Odo, but it's understandable why you wouldn't want to drive this. What if you get dirt under there? How do you clean it? You know, be a nightmare.
Come on,
Plus-
that's way less money than
A
Chitty
Dyson.
Chitty Bang Bang.
Well, if it's caked on or if it had rained a little bit,
That's a good point, actually. That's kind of sad.
So, but yeah, very. You got to see the pictures to believe this. It is very cool. And GM built more than one of these, but this is the only one I believe that's left surviving.
I wish the floor pan was clear. That would be pretty awesome.
Yes, it would. There's a nice photo of the interior. No door panels or anything.
They had to have some structural rigidity in it.
Yeah.
Why isn't the engine block plastic?
I bet you this thing weighs an epic ton. You know that all that plexiglass?
Is plexiglass heavier than steel?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the thickness, but yeah. I mean, I would think that at the dawn of the creation of the stuff, it had to have been pretty thick.
Yeah. They probably didn't like, modern plastic when they make things, they oftentimes will like blow mold them, or they will do the vacuum forming. They'll heat a sheet of plastic up and suck it over a mold. I wonder if do they have to cast these parts or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's amazing this early plastic held up as well as it did.
Yeah.
So now you know. Ben, would you drive a 1939 Pontiac? You have a G8 right now. Now, this one's only a 6-cylinder. I know it's a little bit below what you're used to. But
I'd have to think about it.
I know,
it's no
not
G8.
It's not the GT either.
How does this fit our no theme?
No!
There's no steel in the body. I don't know.
Yeah.
No clothes.
No way you
for
way
a
you can
car.
afford it.
There you
No
go.
way Craig could pass up talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, that too. So.
Does this give you ideas for your
yes, if I...
your project?
I think you should do half of it in plexiglass and the other half in the color scheme from the car we just spoke about.
That's tasteful. That would be tasteful. Because you got the transparent, you can like see through it and stuff, and then you've got that lovely color scheme.
Like those Matchbox cars that were two colors on either side.
Bingo. Yeah. So that's the news portion of the show, but we are trucking along here. It's time for Roundabout Redline. So for those of you just joining us, this is our newest news segment where we blitz through a selection of stories right quick. So let's get started. There's more than one way to get even with a bastardly landlord. Tenants can skip out on payments, strip the home of valuable copper pipes and wire, or simply trash the place. Of course, you can also hitch the front of the building to a pickup truck and floor the accelerator. WXYZ Channel 7 News reports this is exactly what one Detroit area woman did. She completely ripped the facade off the front of her rental home, causing unexpectedly massive carnage. She also smashed every pane of glass in the place and flooded the basement for good measure. Talk about low-end torque.
I think, yeah. Sorry.
No, you got something to say, Zach?
I do. That'd make a fantastic commercial. Sorry. Keep moving on.
Yeah. We've got the power to rip a house apart.
I've seen this movie before. It had Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in it.
That's true, actually.
There you go.
Lethal Weapon 54, I think.
Michelle.
Yes. Well, apparently, the Japan Automobile Federation, which is their equivalent of the AAA, has started a mobile experiment of charging EV drivers for refills on the road when they lose their charge. Although it's not clear how long a mobile recharge will take compared to the normally 7-hour charge up for a drained battery, they claim the recharge is using a prototype system that replaces the need for a red jerry can of voltage. Nissan Japan currently offers towing coverage to Leaf owners.
So how does this work? They pull up with a diesel truck?
Yeah, big old truck.
Oh. Wow.
Big Caterpillar generator
No,
on
they
there and just
pull
plug
up-
that shit in.
They pull up with the
Yeehaw.
brakes on for a couple
Drive
blocks.
with the It's true.
Yeah.
Works like a charm.
Speaking of fuel, Eric.
Yeah, usually when you live in an area where aircraft fly over, you get this lovely film of dirt and kerosene all over your car and patio furniture and everything else. But if you're in Afghanistan, you're just as likely to have pallets of 50-gallon drums of fuel fall from the sky.
Really?
Because of the terrain of the country, it turns out it's easier and less expensive to drop fuel from 30,000 feet into combat areas and remote camps than it is to truck it in. In fact, 80% of all missions flown in Afghanistan are for fuel resupply. The cost to do all this? Turns out fuel ends up being about $11 a gallon delivered this way.
It's not as much as I would have expected.
Yeah, not bad.
Make it up in volume.
How about that? Zachary.
You can tell your homebrewing friends they don't know fine beer from Baboon Sweat. Sydney-based Han Brewery has released a new ad detailing the complex artistry that goes into crafting a bottle of the company's brew. Things get underway by serenading the grains with the dulcet tones of the Knight Rider theme before a squad of former American gladiators pound it to dust with massive steel mallets. From there, the raw materials are baked under an array of old television sets broadcasting kung fu movies. A DeLorean DMC-12 on monster truck tires drives the company's vats before the beer is filtered through hairband drum solos, over a tower of sports trophies, into a giant Elvis jacket, and onto a lounging acrylic tiger. And we thought we just weren't adding enough hops.
That's an awesome commercial. RoundaboutShow.com. Now that is a creative ad. Yep.
I would drink
Up
all
the
that
volume
beer.
as Craig starts talking. No. Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I was just musing about the fact I was in a meeting the other day where a question came up from lead counsel about if kit was actually an anagram. Anyway, 12 miles of yarn in Lauren Porter's will give you 0 miles in a recently created Ferrari Berlinetta. The knitting artiste took 10 months to create the lumpy masterpiece, and it is based on a metal frame. You definitely don't want to don this Ferrari near a campfire.
Why?
Because, Ferraris poof.
Yes, 458s have a tendency to do that.
And acrylic would melt to your skin. A Toledo, Ohio man has a real diamond in the rough on his hands. 5 decades ago, Jerry Brummett purchased a 1940 Packard Super 8 formal sedan from a local farmer. The car is only one of about 250 built, but more impressively, there are only 15 known to exist today. Adding to the history, it used to be owned by a man named Frank Dwayne Stranahan, one of the founders of Champion Sparkplug. After Brummett bought it, for a mere $350, might I add, he used it to transport motorcycles, of all things. At the time, he didn't have enough money for a restoration, so after a couple of years, he parked it in an old fuel storage tank and welded the door shut. The 1/4-inch thick steel protected the Packard over the intervening decades, and now, at the age of 71, he's finally getting around to resurrecting this automotive masterpiece. When complete, the car should be worth $50,000 or more. It's a pretty cool.
That's a lot of savings, Craig.
But is
Aw, Jeffy.
Because he's going to put that much into it, at least. So it's a linear non-vestment, I guess.
I love the names in that story. Stranahan, Brummett. They just aren't names like that anymore.
I know. Awesome stuff. Well, that is Roundabout Redline, our rapid-pace 6-shooter segment. What engine is that, Zach?
It sounds like a blender, is what it sounds like.
Well, it's a 5-liter 5.0 Mustang, actually. First,
Sounds like a blender.
under the hood.
At least it's not a dentist drill this week, Zach. That's all I have to say.
Ugh.
Well, that concludes the news half of the show, so thanks for joining us. But we do hope you stick around, because after the break, our panelists face off in another thrilling installment of Versus. Who will take the checkered crown this week? Who knows? Find out what kind of car is the safest in Britain, and we have some valuable tips for buying a new vehicle, so don't you go anywhere. But right now, I'd like to talk about our good friends at Tire Rack. They're running a special promotion right now that you can only get through our website. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yes.
If you go to roundaboutshow.com, just click that into your browser. At the top
Clickety-click.
of the page, you will see a lovely little banner for our good friends, as I mentioned, at Tire Rack. You click on that, and it is the only way to get this exclusive affiliate offer. But you, our loyal Roundabout fan, could save up to $80. $80, Eric. That's $20 per tire on a purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Dunlop tires. How does that sound? Is that a good deal, Zach, or is that a damn fine deal?
It's a damn fine deal, Craig Cole.
And
Damn.
Michelle has disappeared. She's afraid of all the savings.
I'm right here.
Ah.
We thought you put your privacy sheath up.
My sheath. I'm wearing my sheath.
Privacy sheath. I have not heard that before. So again, you could save $80 on a purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Dunlop tires. If your car needs new rubber, do it. We appreciate your support,
Speaking
and
of
so does Tire
sheath.
Rack. Yeah. That's so much fun. All right. So,
I could go for miles with this one.
So you've heard, Greg.
Yes.
So you've heard.
so now it is time for another action-packed installment of our latest segment. It's called Versus. As you know, in this game, two panelists debate the merits and demerits of one particular vehicle. The other two, plus Ben, if he's not in a pissy mood, will pick the winner. Colonel, how you feeling, girl?
Tolerable.
Oh, that's an improvement from last week. Great. So, you are going to draw the names out of a hat. We've got everyone's name
Indeed.
there. We've got the different roles that everybody can play.
Right.
So, who is first up, and
Okay.
what position will they be playing?
All right, so number 1 is Eric.
Eric. Eric, what is Eric going to be?
Eric is going to be a judge. Good.
Eric is a judge.
Guilty as charged.
Judge Judy.
Who's the next person?
Zachariah.
Zachariah. And he is a judge.
He will be a professional.
Did you like the sparkles I drew on there?
That was very nice. That was a nice touch.
All right, you're the pro, Zach.
Next, we've
Pro.
got Joey.
Joey Naranjo.
And Joey will be Genghis Khan. That, of course, means that Craig will
a
be
judge again.
a judge again.
Craig is
Just
the hammer
judgmental.
Cole.
That's right. I did draw a hammer on the one here, if you were wondering. Gavel. It's hard
Oh,
to
is
see.
that what that is? Okay,
that
thank
that
you.
sausage-shaped blob with the pie underneath it.
Before I
Yes. Oh.
just because everyone doesn't believe they really exist, and we were
Yes.
talking about affiliate checks,
Whoa.
which no one ever gets.
No.
Uh-huh.
I hold in my hands a check from Google for my AdSense.
For how many years?
I don't know, but it was $105.13.
That's not bad.
No.
That's not bad. That's a
tens
lot of beer.
click-throughs.
I'm guessing it's for one of the. It's for the V8 supercar video that's on YouTube that's had like 155,000 views. So,
Ah.
Yes.
anyways, but I just thought that would be
So, no, that's great, Eric. That's over years, though, isn't it?
I would. Well, it's probably been in the last 6 months for that. So.
Okay, not too bad. So,
Not too shabby.
not at all. So, now, the rules, Zach, as pro, you must do your best to convincingly talk up the positive aspects of the vehicles in each of our 3 rounds, no matter how awful you think said vehicle really is. On the other hand, Michelle, are you paying attention?
I am. I was just thinking, do I get a stopwatch?
Ben will be timing us, so I'll get to that in a minute. But, Michelle, you are the con, and you must make the case for why each of these cars ought to be taken off to the crusher. Each of you will have 1 minute, as timed by Colonel Slanders, per car to state your cases. Okay? Following that, there will be a 15-second rebuttal round. So I and Eric are the judges this week, and we will determine who won at the end of the round.
So you guys make sure you keep track of your
Yes.
points.
Yes, and judges, being
We have
Eric.
to keep track of
We have-
of points on ourselves?
No, you guys
No,
don't
no,
have to
no.
worry.
The judges.
Math.
Oh.
What?
So I'm just going to open a separate Word doc and type my crap in. But, yeah, so that's how it's going to work.
Language.
My kerfuffle. So, Ben, what's the first vehicle this week in our second edition of Versus?
I'm going to go ahead and paste the links into the Google Doc for you guys in case you want a quick reference. Our first one is the 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we ready? We started with Pro last week, did we not?
Pro is Zach.
No, we started with Con. We started with Eric. So we're going to start with Pro this week. And so, Zach, on your mark, get set, go.
1 minute.
What is not to love about this vehicle? It's styled excellently. Chrysler did a really fantastic job with it. You can now get it with the new Pentastar 3.6-liter V6, which gets pretty good fuel economy, excellent power. If that's not enough for you, you can always step up to the 5.7 V8, which is also an awesome motor engine, Craig. It also has a
Not a mill, is
beautiful, beautiful interior, plenty of space inside. Decent tow rating. You can go anywhere off-road. It's just a good
30
wholesome,
seconds left.
wholesome SUV. It doesn't shy away from that classification at all. It's got a lot of presence. It looks good in town. Looks good off-road. It's just a good all-around SUV.
15
It's
seconds left.
hard to beat it. I don't even need the rest. I'm done.
All right.
Done. All right. Michelle, you are the con, and are you ready?
I am not a prison departee.
She's
I didn't say
stalling for
ex-con.
time.
I know. She's typing away.
All right,
What's
Michelle.
the Jeep Grand? Is
No,
that
I'm
the
not
Liberty or
typing.
the
I'm
Wrangler?
sweating.
Oh, my God.
All right, Michelle.
All right.
You're the con. Sell us on this.
Con artist.
Well, I think the one thing that has to go without saying, but of course I have to say it because I'm the con, is that this has terrible gas mileage. If anybody wants to have a family vehicle that gets better gas mileage, this is definitely not anything that they want to look for. From what I understand, that some of the reliability in terms of just the interior qualities are not holding up to most family standards as well. So if you have, a bunch of rough and tumble kids, it might not be the best for you. Let's see, what else? I personally
30 seconds remain.
And it looks okay, but it kind of looks like it's sitting still. So I don't think that the exterior is quite as dynamic as I'd like to see it look. But I think it really comes back to gas mileage, that it has terrible, terrible gas mileage. And, Wagoneers were never reputed to have great reliability, and so it's going to be interesting to see if a Jeep Grand Cherokee of this kind is going to have the similar sort of legend with it. That's it.
And true to form, she was a motor mouth using all of her 60 seconds.
You told me I had to.
So now it is time for the 15-second rebuttal round. Zach, you will have but 15 seconds to refute Michelle's arguments.
On your
when
mark.
You're ready.
Get set. Go.
All right. Well, as far as the fuel economy concerns are oriented, all I have to say is SRT8 version. There's your solution right there. You don't even care about fuel economy. Why? Because it's so freaking fast. There you go. Done.
And your time is done as well.
There you
Michelle, brace for impact. It is your turn for rebuttal. Are you ready?
Can I go?
Yep, go.
I would actually question the ability of this thing to really go off-road in a way that is usable, raceable, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Even despite the fact that it might be fast on a flat, straight road or even a little bit curvy road. But
that noise, of course, means that
Stop talking.
Your time is out. All right, judges, your thoughts on this first round?
That was heated. That was
don't reveal
heated.
your final pick, but
That's
what do you think?
heated, Eric.
I thought there was both sides made good arguments.
It's very valid points. I
Yes.
mean, Zach definitely going for the enthusiast tack.
Yep.
But Michelle, with her family-oriented comments, economy, these are very important for new vehicle buyers these days.
Mm-hmm.
Good points on both sides. This is a very difficult round to decide. So I hope our next vehicle will give us a better chance of picking a winner because this is too close to call.
That's true. This time we will start with Con, so that means you, Michelle. And I will go ahead and paste in your next link because pick number 2 is the 2011 Toyota Camry.
Zach's got this. Well, Michelle won.
I can do this. I've got the faith.
Are you ready, Michelle?
I'm ready.
Go.
One of the great things about the Toyota Camry is that it is a reliable vehicle that people know the quality.
You're the con. You're the con.
Oh, wait.
Thanks for doing my job for me.
You're welcome. But
It's costing you points and time, Michelle.
shut up, Craig. But the thing is that the thing lacks complete inspiration. There's so many better cars out there now that have more style, more quality, better fuel efficiency. This thing is not evolved. It's basically a
30
dinosaur,
seconds.
and it needs to be sent to the scrapper because it's really not what you'd hope this car would have become. It's gotten larger. The quality has gone down on it. It's ugly.
15 seconds
It's
remain.
boring, and people come out of the malls and they don't know which car is theirs anymore. People want cars that actually identify themselves, right? But this one doesn't do it.
There you go.
All right, that's it. Good arguments, Michelle. Zach, are you primed and ready?
I'm ready
Or
to
did
go.
the job take care of
I'm
itself?
not, I'll just take 30 seconds.
Right,
Here
Jen?
you go, Zach.
All right. Well, it's fair enough. It does have very conservative styling, but that's okay because safe styling is good and it's comfortable, and not everybody wants something that's wild and flashy. The Camry is a wild seller, and it wouldn't be a wild seller if it wasn't just a genuinely good car. It's fairly reliable. It's got a very usable interior, plenty of space in the back, plenty of space in the trunk. It is a very large car. It's very comfortable. There's plenty of room for the family. You can get an efficient
30
4-cylinder.
seconds.
You can even get a hybrid if you want, or if you want a little bit more power, you can get up to 268 horsepower in the V6. That's a pretty good all around package. Done.
Wow.
And we're gonna put that
Alright.
on your
Man,
gravestone.
Zach Bowman, 42 seconds.
Oh, I will argue for anything, ma'am. I absolutely.
All right. Michelle, are you ready for the rebuttal phase?
I am ready for a rebuttal.
All right, go.
I think for the money, it might be a bigger car. It might have the bigger trunk, than it used to. It might have all of these different qualities, but the fact is that its quality is not what other car manufacturers have actually taken in this segment. So,
Good enough.
It'll have to be Zach Bowman.
that's my slogan.
Good enough. Zach, it's your turn. Go when you're ready.
As far as the quality goes, it's still very much on par. You know, even though the Toyota name has slipped a little bit, it hasn't lost that much ground.
Okay.
Short and sweet. Well,
And a few words. What can I say?
All right, so that is the end of round number 2.
that's right. Judges, what'd you think?
Eric, your thoughts?
Gloves are off on that one.
This was a bloody knuckle fight here. This was
We're about ready to go into round 5. Who's going to tap?
Who took the damage on this one?
well. I think Michelle made an early misstep,
No way.
but she recovered. She recovered quickly, and they really both hit the ground running. And this from my vantage point as judge, this round was too close to call at this point.
Okay.
I have not.
So you've got to put it
selected a
into
winner
you
yet.
got to
I've
put
gotta-
it into context or something.
I need context.
Mhm.
The next round will be where I cast my vote. based
Okay.
on-
All right. Okay.
What is our next vehicle, Colonel?
Third and final?
Yep.
we doing?
Third and final vehicle is the Audi A7. So we will start with Zach again this time since he is pro. Are you ready, Zach?
Ready to go.
Go.
So the A7 is one of the newest additions to this sort of half-breed hatchback sedan segment, and it's by far the best looking. It's just a beautifully sculpted vehicle. Audi has always built very, very strong, solid driving vehicles, and this is no exception. Excellent interior, as usual. Plenty of functionality with the 5-door configuration. Lots of room in the back seat. You can take yourself, your wife, and another couple, and all of their belongings go on a
30
trip,
seconds.
and you're taken care of. It's got a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, or an 8-speed Tiptronic in the U.S. So it's fairly efficient for what it is. Lots of engine options. You've got
15
the
seconds.
optional Quattro all-wheel drive system, so you can go in any weather. It's a solid vehicle.
All right. Michelle?
You know this is cruel, right?
All right.
Here we go. Go.
Zach makes a lot of good points about this car, but at the end of the day, you have to realize that this car is going to have to go back to an Audi service department at some point, and that seems to be the biggest problem with Audis, is that there is that service issue. I mean, maintaining an Audi is the brakes are expensive, the battery is expensive, even the regular maintenances are expensive. They're they don't get great efficiency. I mean, the cost of ownership of an Audi A7, even though it might fit some of your family and some of your belongings, definitely not all of them, as Mr. Bowman
30
tried to
seconds.
say. It's really not that great of a car when you consider that there are cars that are in that segment that will actually hold more people, more items, and are more reliable.
Wow, under time.
Succinct. And Zach, I'm surprised you weren't throwing out a rebuttal there,
You didn't give him a chance
Do
yet.
What's it called?
Craig's lost.
Objection.
Objection.
Objection. Exact. Overruled. So,
Craig's woken up in the back in his pajamas again.
Where am I? Who took my medicine? All right, Zach, it's time for your rebuttal. Go.
All right. Well, yeah. It's if you're not looking to sacrifice style and still need a certain level of functionality, the A7 is it. It's a beautiful vehicle, and it'll still get you and your family where you want to go without having to jump into an SUV or a Borg.
that's a sound drop right there. The
Mark
engine
it.
sound like.
Mich- Michelle, you're the con. Time for rebuttal.
I just think that at the end of the day, there's a lot of better choices out there in terms of luxury and style that would be more reliable.
Very nice. 7 seconds to spare.
Rawr, 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 rawr.
Brr. All right, judges, what'd you think of this round?
Another heated round. I mean, these guys are balls to the walls, you know?
How'd Zach do on this one?
I have balls?
I'm figuratively speaking. I'm not certain, but
Here's the question: would Lola fit in an A7?
it's a little sloping in the back.
She fit in a Focus 5-door.
That's what the front seat's for. Moving on.
Oh man, this is. I'm carefully.
I should have been a car salesman. Literally, I can say anything and just not care. It's fantastic.
That's why you're an automotive journalist.
That's exactly how I am.
So I think Eric and I have to confer here for a moment. So I'm just going to roll over to
They're going to Chambers.
Chambers.
Dun, dun,
I
dun,
have a
dun.
gavel, so I'll just slap the table.
Yeah, I need a gavel sound effect.
They're going to whisper sweet nothings in each other's ears.
Dirty. You're mumbling. Very serious.
Hubbub.
Rhubarb. Rhubarb. Supposedly, when they film crowd scenes, that's why they make everybody say it's
Exactly.
rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
'Cause it
It's
sounds
true.
like
Hubbub.
All the extras have to say rhubarb, rhubarb.
rhubarb. Rhubarb. Yep, this is thrilling radio.
Okay.
Right here. Right now.
We've come to a conclusion. The scorecard. The judges have the scorecards in.
Eric, would you like to call your scores?
I have it 1 round for the con, 1 round for the pro, and 1 round a draw.
Ah, psh. We need a tiebreaker. You can't just walk away like that. What is
Well,
this?
I will decide the tie then because I awarded all of my points to one person.
Oh my.
And the landslide victory, the winner of our second annual
Weekly
annual Roundabout versus the winner by technical knockout.
Sure.
We'll just call it that.
Split decision, actually.
Well, yeah, there you go. Okay. The winner,
Is
Michelle Joy Naranjo.
Well done.
I think now, Zach. All these rounds were so close.
No, you don't have
How'd
to
that
explain something to
happen?
me. Don't have to explain anything to me, Craig. I understand.
Wait, I don't get it. How did that happen?
Because Craig had it 3-0 going to you. I had it 1-1 and a tie for a third, so it would be 4-1-1 going to you. That's how the points would add up.
Sorry, Zach.
That's fine. That's fine.
Those are curiously not automotively themed.
Yeah, I went
Sound
for
like lasers.
It's an 8-bit kind
They fit
of.
your shirt,
It's
Ben.
very,
Show
it's
everyone.
very Zaxxon.
Mega Man.
8-bit masterpiece.
That's right.
All right. So, Michelle, congratulations. Zachary, I am sorry. I thought her arguments were
Tip
just.
my hat
It was
to the,
such.
to the stronger party. I do.
Make your case, Craig.
All rounds were so close. It was very hard to decide. Last week, in fact, we had to go to the chat room even and have them break the tie. This week, we were fortunate enough to have a clear-cut winner, and I think that was Michelle by the narrowest of margins. You carried all three. You didn't miscarry any of the rounds this time. Got them all full term, and I think you won.
I want to see Ben have a temper tantrum this week, though.
Oh, you missed out on a good one last week.
I had the Cherokee being a split because I think both of you made.
Couldn't decide. Too close.
It was too close. Zach had it definitely from the performance side. Michelle brought up all the issues, having been a previous Cherokee, not a Grand Cherokee, but a Cherokee owner nonetheless, and having my grandfather owned many a Chrysler product through the years, understanding the quality issues.
Yeah.
I had Zach getting the Camry, and I had Michelle.
Really?
Yeah, and I had Michelle with the Audi, because especially with dealing with a few Audi dealerships in my day job, I know some of the issues that happen there.
Yeah.
Little inside knowledge.
Such as?
Inside knowledge.
Okay. Never kiss and tell. Well, thank you, panelists. That was awesome. I hope the chat room enjoyed it as well. I think that was a pretty spirited round. And Michelle, we've got to thank you because you concocted this idea here for Versus, I understand.
A crazy idea.
Yeah. Well, it must have been one night of heavy drinking to come up with that, right?
No, I was on the phone with Ben.
So it was
So
like
it was a
being
heavy night of
intoxicated.
long night of heavy drinking.
Right.
Yeah. Why am I so sad?
Same levels of brain damage. Just
Thanks.
this thing on.
Thank you.
All
That's
right,
great.
So, moving right along, it's time.
I believe our time is out.
I say good day to you, sir.
So, moving along, it's time to bring you up to speed on a story we covered not too long ago.
And now it's time for this week's Roundabout Update.
Sorry, I mean a roundabout update. So, previous episode of the show, we
Previously on
on roundabout. Oops. So, we were talking about the Reliant Robin. You guys all know what this car's about, don't you? There's three-wheeled thing from Britain, fiberglass body panels. Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear drove it and flipped it over about 37 times in the course of 2 minutes. No?
Yes, did the Stig.
Yeah. So there's a lovely article on the Autoblog, no less. And Zach, you didn't write this one. I don't know why. You write a lot of them on there.
I was probably traveling.
So surprisingly, against the odds, the
No,
mirror.
wait. Why is this a roundabout update? Sorry.
Because when we covered the Reliant Robin the first time, there was a wonderful video from Top Gear of Jeremy
No.
Clarkson.
That's not why. Because last week's show, we reported on who's pounding
What?
on their microphone.
Somebody's playing with a bouncy ball or something.
Michelle?
I don't have my chair here.
Michelle.
Okay.
All right. No, last week we reported on the most unsafe car in the UK.
Oh, that's
right.
right. Yes, that too.
Were you there last week, Craig?
Only in body. So yes, now we're reporting on the safest, and it was a Honda. I forget the exact name of it. It was like
Something
the
or
FRV. It was an MPV type vehicle, a minivan of sorts. So this week, one of the safest vehicles in the British Isles, the Reliant Robin. That's hard to believe, Eric.
It is, and it isn't. It
You
isn't
never
because
drive your car. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard to be unsafe. when you're behind
That is
the
the most unattractive still of Jeremy Clarkson.
He's very jowly. I'm not going to
I
lie.
was gonna say, when you have a car that handles as ill as this, you're probably extra cautious.
Well, it's
True.
it's like a motorcycle.
And if you were in an accident, would you really want to admit that you drove a Reliant Robin?
Yeah, that guy crashed the car and ran off. Sir, you're bleeding from the face. No, it wasn't me.
That was fiberglass.
What a
burn.
flesh wound!
Yeah. I can't believe this thing is rear-wheel drive too.
Well, you
It's
couldn't
absurd.
exactly drive it all through the front
Well,
wheel.
I know, but it's
Chain drive to the front. That'd be awesome.
what? Front-wheel drive. Yes, I want to see that now. But anyway, so evidently, only 11 out of an admittedly small number of Reliant owners, in this case 1,174, have submitted a claim to their insurance company. That's 0.9% of owners, which stacks up very favorably to an average of 7.3% in the United Kingdom.
Well, you gotta imagine, like, if something happens to your Reliant Robin, you just set it on fire right there and walk away, right? You don't actually claim it on your insurance,
Yes, that's true.
right?
And the Autoblog insight here that's particularly telling is the Italian exotics, the Bentleys, the Aston Martins, are curiously also very short on insurance claims. Perhaps they don't get driven much.
Or they just
you
pay for it
know,
out of pocket.
Yeah.
I knew someone that had a Reliant Robin. I didn't realize how few people had owned them, actually. But when I lived in Wales, one of my neighbors was a Church of England priest,
kind
and
of
he
whale?
had one. And Wales, as in the Wales kind. And anyway, he was, we had single lane roads, and that's all he did was like putter from like one teeny tiny village to another on a single lane road, and you only went like 15 miles an hour, and it was,
It was a lovely step up from a motorbike, especially if it's raining or snowing, right?
right.
And you only needed a motorcycle license to own it.
It's lower cost.
Ride at 250 before I drove that thing any day of the week. Any day.
If you should watch the video on here. It's funny, but I mean it's one of those things of that certain things at Top Gear are scripted a certain way because Clarkson's driving a Reliant Robin that has a Kirkley racing seat and a 5-point harness, and he's wearing a helmet. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know about how that was going to go.
No way. It's like a show made for entertainment of 350 million people weekly.
Oh, shocking.
So weird.
The
Oh my
windshield
God.
popped out.
.com.
I lolled. So the video is awesome. Check it out. RoundaboutShow.com. We'll have the link in the show notes. But the car basically, the video, the segment starts out. He's driving it. The very first turn, the thing just flips over. And
shockingly, these famous people show up
exactly
just when he needs help the most.
Isn't that funny how that worked out? It's the British Isles are an archipelago of coincidence, you know. So.
All that needed to happen is a Morris Marina just to fall from the sky.
Exactly. So, Reliant Robin drivers are quite safe. Moving along, motoring right along, it is time for our tip of the week. And Michelle, we figured we would throw this little dandy to you because you are the expert when it comes to purchasing new vehicles. And this article comes to us courtesy of lifehacker.com. What insights can you shower upon us?
Well, let's see. Let's start with this article. It's from lifehacker.com. And did you want me to talk about the SEO reasons that they wrote this article? Or did you want me to talk about the actual tips that they're giving that are found absolutely everywhere on the internet? Because everyone's writing the same article.
Well, fill us in on all the details. We want the skinny.
Wow. This article is about how to screw with car salesmen. And it's based on an article by a guy over at a place called Verizongo who, I guess, they
Is that
published
like
an
car
article.
salad?
Yeah, exactly. I think so. It's sort of, about why car dealers think it's okay to screw with you, which perpetrates this sort of idea that, consumers and car dealers are just constantly trying to screw with each other. So this particular article, which I'm sure will be in our show notes and therefore give Lifehacker way more hits than they need, but at least they'll be able to
Tens
more
of hits.
ads as a result of all of the fans going to hit this site because it'll be in our show notes and linked out. You'll find out from this article that you should always ignore car salesmen when they complain that they're not going to make money because no car dealer is actually working for free, or car salesman, I should say. They are either, they are first of all on usually a sort of weekly salary, which is based on some sort of minimum wage. They usually, even if they're getting flat fees per car, it's usually at least $100 per car. Some of those guys are still starving because they might sell 2 cars a week, but they're getting an hourly wage on top of that. It informs you that your best weapon, of course, is information. So, always do your research.
Knowledge
all of that.
is power or something.
Right, absolutely. All that obvious stuff, as if we didn't know this from the internet. And then also, check your emotions at the door. Don't go in and start picking a fight with the car salesman because they are emotional beings just like yourself. You don't want to go in and start telling them that they're idiots and they don't know what they're talking about, and what they're paying for the car because these guys are, just employees of the person that actually is paying for the car. And let's see. Then don't screw yourself.
In public would be a crime of some sort.
I think it might be.
Words to live by, right there.
Yeah, and it's more about why you shouldn't treat car salesmen like poo-poo.
And at the end of the day, it's not it's not the sales that you get screwed at the dealership. It's when you get to talk to the F&I guy.
Exactly.
Sure, we'll be happy to finance that for you. Just, it's this payment, And then when you look at it
For 71 years.
Well, it's 7 years at 19.2% interest.
Right. And I mean, the basics are just, this article, of course, misses this point, but there is a difference between car buying fees and dealer fees. I mean, buying fees, you have to pay tax. You have to pay, there's just some stuff you have to pay on there for it to be a legal transaction. And then there's all the little add-ons where they, charge you to wash the car and pull the plastic off the seats. That thing you shouldn't.
Michelle, you're
Did you mute
muted.
yourself?
Tell you on the.
There
No,
she goes. There she is.
no,
Oh, you're
He's
back now.
no, I didn't. Look, see?
You look,
All
are
right.
you wearing a Snuggie?
It's a slanket, Zach.
No!
I think it goes with that Rolls-Royce.
It's a really big 80s sweater, okay?
Kind of looks like a Snuggie from here,
Get it
especially when
It's
you
kind
lean
of-
back and did like the bear
You
thing.
know what's awesome is it kind of feels like a Snuggie.
All right, you were saying, Michelle?
Oh, so yeah, there's the dealer fees. There's the obvious fees that you have to pay, like the taxes and the license and all that stuff. And then there's also all of the add-ons, like the undercoating, baloney,
VIN
and
etching.
Pinstriping.
right, exactly. Like
Ben is surly about pinstriping.
I hate pinstriping.
it's the
Did
go
a bad
fast.
experience?
Right.
His G6 he had sparkles on the C-pillar.
Oh,
It was
classy
special.
lady.
So, Michelle, you seem pretty skeptical about this article. Do you?
Oh, there's just 1,000 articles out there, like at least 1,000.
Well, what's
articles.
the Michelle Naranjo insight we can bring to the party here? What do you recommend people do, Roundabout listeners? What do you recommend they do when they walk into the showroom to get a new car?
I think absolutely the one rule that they've pointed out here is educating yourself before you get there is the key.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That means doing research online where all of these tools are, and kind of silly articles like this that are sort of general, but then there's more in-depth articles out there that will actually give you a little better idea of not only just articles, but the sort of information that'll, there's tons of websites out there now that will give you the balance between MSRP and invoice price, for example, and what people are actually paying for cars in the end.
I would say if you're going to buy a car, pay cash, avoid financing it, and you bring in the cash in an envelope and you say, there's the cash. I'm trying to give it to you. You won't give me the car. And then when they say, well, I can't give it to you for that price, you go, well, then bring me someone who can. And
Have you ever done that, Eric?
I have.
Wait, how does?
Did
Because
they
they're
sell
missing
you
out
a,
on money
sell you a
from-
car for $50?
When
in singles.
when I was moving, when I first got transferred to the UP, I attempted to buy a brand new Volkswagen Jetta TDI, and I had $5,000 in cash, and I was going to trade in my Mustang.
That you miss dearly now.
I do. And when they offered me $2,000 as a trade-in on my Mustang, I laughed, and I had $5,000 in cash. No, it was like
Surely you jest.
date, you sir.
And I said, well, obviously you're high. Why don't you bring your sales manager so we can actually do the deal?
See, I would actually recommend that you don't say to a car salesman, surely you
You're
are high.
I know.
These
Well-
were his college years, Michelle. He was a
Well,
wild stallion back then.
It was
He was 3 sheets to the wind. It was really embarrassing.
yeah, it was an interesting time in my life.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
No, well, it is just not at that point in time in my life.
Okay.
It was a different chapter.
Okay.
Last
Ooh.
week, Eric, we're talking about. No.
So, anyways, the sales manager comes in, and we got to go through this whole rigmarole. And so, basically, I says, "Well, would you like to sell a car today?" And they go, "Well, that's what we're trying to do." I says, "No, you're not, because if you were trying to sell a car, you'd be offering me something more than, this on my trade-in, because you're going to sell it. You're giving me 2. You're going to turn around and sell it for 6. Oh, I can't sell it for 6. And I says, then you can't sell. So I gave my business card. I says, I'm leaving in 48 hours. If you'd like to sell this car, please call me.
So that's why you drove the 5.0 for 2 winters in the UP.
That's why I did.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things now that, this idea of like invoice price and then also trade-in values used to be such a sort of more of a mystery, and you'd have to like go buy the Kelley Blue Book. Believe it or not, you guys don't remember that, but I do.
I do.
I have one on my shelf, actually. Thank you very much.
But, now that's unfortunately part of the negotiation process is not about just knowing what you want to pay for the car, but knowing what your trade-in is worth, because you also are going to have to negotiate on that part as well.
Michelle,
By
is it
the
better-
way, 18 months later, when I did sell the Mustang, I got $5,600 for it. So
Of course, there you go. Now, Michelle, is it better to negotiate the deal first and then do the trade-in after if you're going to trade something in?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you should never talk about financing or your trade-in up front, because you want to get the best price on the car first before you start
called
talking about all
come
the rest
in.
of the
I
stuff.
have you go into your local Ford dealership and you go, I have A-plan papers. No negotiation required after that.
Oh, is that all they need?
pretty much. They open a book and they say,
X-Plan.
beep, A plan, X plan, Z plan. Yeah, it's basically they open a book, there's the price,
And that's it.
and that's it.
And then you can't do anything
Oh, you're
else.
talking about if you're getting a discount from an OEM or something?
Yeah.
Like family
Oh.
plan for Ford, friends and family.
I don't think that actually works for a majority of consumers, but
Oh, in Detroit it does.
Yes, I say you go into a dealer, you go into a General Motors or Ford dealership, even a Chrysler
Do you have a
dealership.
family member?
Yeah, it's like you don't have one. Let me call somebody.
So
but we
Eric,
have
Eric, your
international
tip is
listeners
first
here,
move to
Eric.
Detroit.
How are they going to walk in and ask
Well,
for
no.
an A plan or a...
Well, like
There are GM plants in Canada.
the there are code generators out there that Ford can do. They're available to
My
get Ford
popcorn's
X
done.
Plan.
He turned a bag of popcorn into a bowl.
Colonel likes his Orville Redenbacher.
They were buds. They went to college
Surely,
together.
surely.
I do adore your necktie, sir. I do yours.
Those are genteel times. But great job, Michelle. Thank you for your tips, your insight, your expert analyses. Now you know. And I do
Now you
believe
know.
we have a show, folks. We've wrapped this
That's
puppy up
one in the can.
with scarcely past an hour. So good job, everyone. Good hustle. So, Eric Tritko, Mr. Rumblestrip.
Yes,
Rumblestrip.net, Rumblestrip on Twitter.
yes, and yes.
You know what to do.
Friend me, like me, read my stuff, send me money.
Like
Nah.
me.
Please.
And if you happen to be a decision maker at an auto dealership, get a hold of me and we talk to you about what I can do for your social media program.
He's got $5,000 and a Ranger, and he's ready to make a deal.
Yeah.
Unless you're high.
And then if you are, I can make you a real good deal. So.
Well, thanks for joining us, Eric. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Michelle Naranjo.
Yes,
Joey Naranjo. She goes
I
by
am-
many
I have
names.
the honor
Horse-
of being the only one of you, out of all of you, who's hugged Zach this week.
True.
Oh, well, I've
And it is an honor.
spent many hours with Zach and never been impulsed to hug him.
Aw,
Your loss.
That's not true, Craig. We all know that's not true.
That's
Craig and I rode around in a convertible Camaro together, so that's a special bond.
It has the V Type 8-cylinder engine.
It did.
It did.
How you feeling, girl?
Nauseated after hearing that, Ben. Like Michelle Naranjo, autobytel.
Horse by telegraph?
Could say that.
yes, absolutely. Horse by telegraph.
When is
or
this new
otherwise-
website you speak of launching?
Before July, and I am getting ready to start traveling sort of a bunch for the next month. But I will be here for the days I'm supposed to be on Fridays.
Thanks.
Speaking of horses, sounds like a dog and pony show to me.
It is a bit of a dog and pony show. I'm going to be taking Joy, my horse, and May, my dog.
How do you travel with
Take them
horses
in the
and dogs?
Z3, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm going to be going to every manufacturer in the country. So actually, yeah, I've got to start taking the website around to preview it to everyone. And so I'm going to Detroit, you
Can
guys.
you preview it to us?
I can soon. Next week I can. So I think we should have a tweet up on the 27th.
Okay.
Of?
June.
Oh, well, you just said traveling soon.
27th. Yeah. Okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Michelle Naranjo will be in the Motor City in and around the 27th of June. So, friend us.
Yeah, follow us and friend us on Facebook, and we will let you know when that happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be you can always find out more about, at my Twitter, Miss Motormouth. But and then we have open line on July 5th.
Correct.
So very nice. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Craigie.
Thank you. Mr. Zach Bowman, back once again.
Yep.
He can't stay away.
Can't keep me away.
Yeah, even when he
I-
doesn't,
Be honest, this is way more fun than the Autoblog podcast.
he won't be honest.
That's probably true. I don't know. It's on par.
This one
It's
doesn't
on-
pay as well, though.
Yeah, it does not pay as well. That does factor into the.
I have noticed that all of a sudden, for some strange reason, you can watch and listen to the Autoblog podcast live on Ustream. I wonder where that idea came from.
Is that
It did not come from me, brother. I don't have an expletive to do with that.
Well, ever modest. But Zach Bowman, autoblog.com. The real Autoblog, I understand, on Twitter.
Yeah, and if you're checking out our beta site, which you should, all of our tweets are getting funneled straight into that page. So I have to be careful about what I tweet about these days.
Wow. Keep it
clean.
clean.
It's pretty cool. I'm gonna have a bunch of neat features coming up. As Michelle knows, did the 2012 Accent, 2012 Genesis. That should be this week. And I've got reviews for the Panamera and the 740, and should have one on the GMC 2500 Denali coming up soon too. So
Damn.
Well,
keep an eye out for those.
Busy beaver.
Yes.
You could say. Zach, thank you again for your time. We always appreciate having you. Welcome back whenever you'd like.
Thank you very much, Craig.
Remember, you can watch Roundabout live every Friday evening starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 3:30 on the West Coast. We have a Google Voice account if you'd like to get in touch with us via talking.
Call me.
You can do that. The RoAB hotline is 1-559-ROAB-411. Again, that's 1-559-762-2411. Drop us a voicemail. We would love to hear from you. We're doing the social media stuff. We're on Twitter at twitter.com/roundaboutshow. Of course, we're on Facebook as well, facebook.com/roundaboutshow. If you can't find us, search for us. It's pretty easy. We're around. We'd love to get in touch with you. If you never want to miss an action-packed episode, you can subscribe to Roundabout on either iTunes or the Zune Marketplace or elsewhere fine podcasts are available.
Stitcher, for instance.
Exactly. Or I understand there's like the RSS feed or something. Is that-
Absolutely. Just use iTunes. Just submit to our will.
No. Anyway, thanks to all of you out there listening, and please join us again next week as we circle the roundabout. We'll talk to you then, and Ben is hovering his finger over top of his trackpad, anxiously waiting to play a sound effect. Okay.
So painful.
You and the horse you rode in here on.
You're packing up your mini horse, Michelle, and traveling? Is that real?
No, I'm not taking the mini horse. I'm flying.
You should take the mini horse.
I'd love to. I miss her when I'm not here. I was in Vegas for 4 days, and I missed her and all my animals.
She didn't miss her daughter, though.
Who?
But you
Sorry,
need to
I
get one of those.
overslept.
You need to get one of those mini trailers like Rob Dyrdek or whatever his name is had. The custom paint job, right?
Wait, you know who Rob Dyrdek is?
I saw that program once.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
His remote got stuck it got off the History Channel, and he just couldn't figure out the buttons, and
It's
had to call
confusing.
his
There are 9 of
grandson
them.
down. Yeah. Real embarrassing.
There was some stuff going on Twitter last night about one of the shows they used to do called Live Fast Racing, with my buddy John, who lives down in Chattanooga. And there was a certain thing. It was called. We had a thing where he went off on this rant for about 2.5 minutes, and it was very Zach Bowman-esque with the language. He was Zach would have been proud. Okay, so
well done, sir.
To try and keep it so we could keep not an explicit tag on it, I had to put some kind of, rather than a horn. A friend Toby Moody from the UK, he had, in an interview I'd done with him, he had said like, "Who gives a monkeys?" So it was like every time he swore, it was like. And so he's got an accent thicker than Zach, so like, y'all go, who gives a monkeys? You know, very very proper British accent. And so it's this sort of legendary thing from people who were doing it. And so everyone was asking about it. So I put it up, just that segment, up on Rumble Strip Radio. And so I'm going through and I'm looking at my stats and like, I haven't done a show for Rumble Strip Radio show since like November of 2009, right? I am still getting, on average, 200 downloads a month on some of these episodes that I haven't done in 2 years. I'm just like, what the hell? It's like, people, this is not topical anymore. Not that I'm complaining, but I just
don't discourage them.
Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. So, anyways, if for those who are in the chat room, because we're still broadcasting, yes?
Yes.
Go to rumblestripradio.com. It's the latest one called Who Gives a Monkeys, and it'll give you 2 minutes of joy and happiness.
Cool.
You ought to release the unedited version.
There actually isn't. I don't have it. I don't think I have the raw. Well, I don't have the raw one, and it's actually funnier with the with the actual thing in it. So
there you go.
You know, it was awesome when we were on the Accent and the Genesis Drive this week. I was driving with Scott Burgess, and he had all of these archived Phil Hendry shows.
Oh God, I love Phil Hendry.
I love Phil Hendry.
God, it took me forever to realize he wasn't real, but
Did it really?
well, I don't know because I would only hear it in like 5-minute chunks, like as I was driving to the grocery store or whatever.
See,
And
he was one of my local, like from years ago, listens that I started listening to him. I just love him.
Yeah, when they canceled that, I was like, oh.
You know what? He got a huge TV contract.
I
they
know,
couldn't-
and then didn't
Couldn't
pan
figure out
out.
what to do with him because he's so radio.
Right. Do you know who Phil Hendry is? Do you guys? He used to do. Explain what he did, Michelle.
So he was this radio host, and he had all these characters.
He could
where
do voices.
Where he would do these voices, right? And he would act like a little old lady school teacher who decided that the ugly children in her class needed plastic surgery so that the bullies wouldn't pick on them, and that she was telling all the parents of ugly children that they needed to pay for plastic surgery so that the children wouldn't be treated unfairly. And then they would take callers, and these callers would call in furious, like, how dare you play the role of God and tell me that my child is ugly? You're letting the bully win. And these people would just get totally round up. And she would, Phil Hendry, she would, sit there and go like, well, I just don't understand what you're talking about. If your child's ugly, they need to know.
No, it was great because these people had no clue, that this was fake. It was awesome.
He's a hero, an absolute hero.
Somehow we need to figure out how to do that with Roundabout. Hey,
The Smith residence?
Yeah.
Smith residence.
Smith residence.
Yes, but what kind of fuel economy does
Smith
it get?
residence.
we need to do an insert for the podcast. I just remembered that we're going to be off for 2 weeks. So Craig is going to say, and just a quick show note here, we won't have a show for the next 2 weeks, so we'll see you back here live on, when would that be? July... no, July 15th.
I've got to call Mr.
Oh, wait.
Ewing after this because
No, it'll be the.
Oh, yeah.
It is the 8th.
I still
Oh, wait,
haven't
so I
gotten
guess
him.
we'll be back on the 1st. Would we?
No, we're
No,
off that week.
it's the 8th.
Remember?
No, we're not. Yeah, you're right, Eric.
No,
The thing is,
8th is a Tuesday.
No, July the 8th is a Friday.
you know what? I guess we're not going to. Yeah, we're off for 1 week and then off for another week. Okay.
I got confused.
Well, then skip
Oh, so you're off for the 24th. Wait. Next
Yeah,
week is
just-
the 17th.
We should still mention it for next week.
Because it's the 24th. Wait.
Yeah, we're off
Wait,
next. We're off next week.
Because you're going to St. Ignace.
Yeah, and I don't
Okay.
think we're going to have a show because I don't think there's.
Okay, so
enough.
just say you're off next week.
Yeah.
Well, but I've got to go book my ticket. But I haven't gotten Steven to commit to if he's going to drive me up there on Friday night.
Well, yeah. So we're just going to say we probably won't have a show because we're going to go to St. Ignace and keep an eye on our Facebook and Twitter pages for we'll be posting all kinds of photos of the cool cars there. So say something.
Indeed we will.
So why don't you say that?
Well, guys, I'm going to drop off so I can start on this freaking axle.
Oh, hey, how do you like the Panamera?
Oh, Panamera was awesome. Rocked my world.
As long as you didn't have to look at it?
No, I even like it in the flesh.
You know what? It's growing on everyone. That's so 2 years ago, Eric.
I was being funny, Michelle. Having a funny.
I really enjoyed it. It was a 3.6, so base quote unquote, but
80,000.
yeah, pretty much. But still, it wasn't heinously priced for what it was, and it was one of those cars where you're like, I've got to figure out a way to own one of these.
Cool.
It was just that good.
I'm encouraged by your review of the Prius V, which I am going to go drive Wednesday. So
Blew me away how much I enjoyed that car, and even like under a caning,
mm-hmm.
it's not bad, which kind of hurts me to say.
I'll be practiced because I have an MKZ hybrid right now. So
Perfect. There you go.
Look at me! Look at me!
all right. See you, Zach.
Bye, Zach.
Bye, Zach.
Bye, Zach.
Catch you guys later.
I discovered this sound effect. I really don't remember what this is from, but it's called "Welcome Back, Bowman." And it's only 5 seconds long.
Welcome back.
Maybe just that.
I think Well, it was the first because he had wasn't doing.
I thought it was customized, but it's just the welcome back thing.
That's the welcome back Cotter thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe we had customized it or something.
Gotcha.
I guess we didn't. All right, you want to...
Welcome back, welcome Zach.
Welcome, Zach. That's what we should have done. All right, you want to cut that?
What do you want me to say again?
Roundabout will be taking the week off next week. To go to the big...
Yeah.
How about... Roundabout will be taking next week off so that we can attend the large St. Ignace Car Show in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Please tune in again next week. Please tune back again on whatever the week after that is.
July 1st.
July 1st.
Live on July 1st.
Live on July 1st. Really? You guys are going to be...
Well, we won't... not until the 4th. We're not off till the 4th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're... No. I'm going to have to come in at after hours for sure anyway. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, God, I probably screwed that stupid schedule up I just sent you guys. Damn it.
That's all right. I threw a week I was unavailable in just out of nowhere, too. I'm like, oops, I can't do that.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Craig.
All right. Hey, Roundabouters, just a quick programming note. We will be off the internet airwaves next week. Ben, the Colonel, and myself are heading up north to Michigan's Upper Peninsula for the St. Ignace Car Show, a big event up there, so we will not be having a Roundabout next week.
But be sure to check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Roundabout Show and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Roundabout
all kinds of
Show.
updates from the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, we'll be putting photos up there and all kinds of stuff. And we may even do an impromptu show. It all depends on, who we get up there. Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying.
So anyway, if we don't see you then, we'll definitely see you live on July 1st.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. There we go.
Isn't it a motorized vehicle exposition?
Yes, it's a motorized vehicle exposition.
And Motor City Greek asks, the UP has cars? Well, I don't know. I've never been there.
I
Ben,
have,
you'd be a
yes,
better
they do.
authority on this. Additionally, I know I've
They're
heard they
rusty.
have pasties.
Actually, they're
pasties
not.
up
They're
there.
not. Oh wait, you say they're rusty or they have pasties?
Rusty.
Oh no, actually, it's not so bad because they use sand, not salt up there.
Ah.
Really?
They don't want to
Yes.
brine
Why
the
don't they
Great
use salt?
Lakes.
Because it can get so cold up there that the salt isn't really
Just doesn't
effective.
work.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll give $100 if I make it. I'll give $100 to the first person that says Chevy took a shit in a real UP accent, not one of you guys.
What? What about Chubba Chetta?
No. That's pretty good.
What was it?
No, have
Chevy?
you ever seen Escanaba in the Moonlight? Moonlight?
Oh yeah, when it first came out.
And there's a guy in there who says, Chevy shook a shit.
Yeah.
His Chevy took a shit. Chevy shook a shit. Michelle just saw that a couple weeks ago.
Unfortunately
Months
for
ago.
you, Michelle, Escanaba is about 2.5 hours from St. Ignace. So
Dun, dun.
We
We are probably going to try and go see.
straight across US 2.
Probably going to go see
Kitchity
Tequamanon
Kapipi?
Falls. No, that's too far away.
Tequamanon Falls will be
It's
about
like
an
an
hour
hour-ish,
and a
right?
half. Hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
Craig's
it's
never
worth
seen
seeing.
it.
Yeah, it's worth seeing.
Escanaba's on the coast, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Michigan. Yeah, it's on the north coast of Lake Michigan.
Seems like a
North-
treacherous area.
Actually,
Territory.
it's nice. Really nice area.
Ben's in love with the UP.
I love it. I don't
It's
know.
nice up there.
That's God's country.
How is it different
What?
from Wisconsin or?
They don't have so much cheese.
Well, Ben likes
and not
cheese.
so many dairy farms.
That's
The
right.
farms they have grow a different kind of weed.
So weed.
So there you go. There's another tip of the
Literally.
week for you.
It's one of the largest cash crop up there.
Are
too.
you
So-
high?
So he might have actually been high. I take that all back.
How do you like it? So there you go.
No.
We got to thank our chatters. That's Michelle laughing again.
She's not going to deny it this time.
Who?
Who? What?
Is it 3?
We got to thank our chatters, Ben. We got Cran Breaking. Luke made it. Better late than never. Haven't heard from him in quite a while. Jeffrey Ross is in the chat as well. Didn't know
Really?
he done came on here.
Wow. Is Jeffrey having a meetup? He said he was going to email us, but I
No.
think he
leaves this
lied.
Saturday to come up.
Oh, he leaves Saturday?
I think Saturday. Jeff, did you say Saturday? Put it in the chat room. I'm too lazy to type.
We got Motor City Greek, of course.
That's the Quamelin Falls. In the fall.
How appropriate. Motor City Greek, not geek. There's an R in there, and it's not silent. Mud Monster, of
Opa.
course, and Scott in Cleveland. It's Cleveland, yeah.
What about Roaster
I think
Jack? Is Roaster Jack in there in the chat room?
Not tonight.
Okay.
Well, it's too bad.
All right.
Well, that's a show, folks. It's 8
That is a
p.m.
show.
here, Eastern Standard Daylight Standard Time.
I believe this ends our broadcast day, Craig.
Yeah, I believe the work day too, because I'm tuckered out. What?
Okie dokie.
Dead hookers. And with that, Roundabouters, we thank you for your support.